to the JR the Bossman show on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. The 4-hour marathon is here for you of great sports and entertainment as only the Bossman show can bring you. And I just gotta say, I'm happy to be here today with you guys. Got a great show for you, best believe it. We got John to be by for emails and the Boss Report. Got him covered there. I tell you what, we got some great guests coming up today on the Boss Man Show. It's going to be great. We got, starting off, Steve Donahue, Penn Quakers, Don Verlin, Idaho Vandals, Dedrique Taylor, Cal State Fullerton Titans, joining me shortly. Also, hour number 2 gonna be crazy. Arizona State Sun Devils head coach Herm Edwards on the show. You play to win the game. That class line he had. You play to win the game. Left the ESPN booth. Now he's at Arizona State, helping college kids learn the game of football, turning them to great young men. Got Eric Edholm, ProFootballWeekly.com, doing his thing. Andy Benoit, the MMQB and SI. Also, we have Kyle Keller, Buck Joyner, Jay Ladner, Top 3 with Tyndall, and Russell Turner on the Bossman Show. So we have a great show for you this week. Great college coaching on all fronts because college basketball season is going in full effect. It's getting down to crunch time. March Madness is always almost here, so we're trying to get as many college coaches as we can. Talk about this stretch run here of March Madness. College tournament time is about to go down in the college basketball world. And you know we're at the home of college basketball on the Boss Man Show. We interview college basketball coaches all year long. New coaches, old coaches, college basketball coaches, we interview them all year long. We show them love. Mid-majors, high majors, we do our thing for those people. You better believe it. And don't you forget it, as that song once said. Also, check us out, bossmanradioshow.com, on the construction. Just bear with us. We're working on it. Doing good. Platform-wise, Facebook, Boss Man Show. Like the page. Send us a message. Contact us. Boss Man Show. Twitter. We tweet out interviews. We tweet out the guest list on Fridays and Saturday mornings before the show starts. Boss Man Show. Jared the Boss Man. JD Beckler. Follow us on Twitter there. Instagram. 2 of them. One for the show. One for me personally. The Boss Man Show is the shows, and my personal one is Jared the Boss Man. Alright. Now this is where it gets good. We have these free mobile radio apps for you guys to listen to the show on demand. Alright? Start you off with Audio Boom. Simple as the Boss Man Show. Alright? Got that. If you want segment form of the show, got that on Blog Talk Radio. Alright? You want segments or full hours here on WDJY? That's Google Play Music. Google Play Music for segments and full hours. iHeartRadio, it's full hours. JR the Boss Man Show. Alright? We're also on Spotify now. Alright? I forgot one, Radio Public. That's segments and full hours. Also Stitcher, segments and full hours. Spreaker, that's full hours. YouTube, full hours. TuneIn, we're segments there. So, on demand, free radio apps on your Android or device or your Apple device. Check it out. Search for Jared the Boss Man and or the Boss Man Show. You should see our content there. And follow us there today. Subscribe so that way iTunes as well, followed by iTunes. So a lot of platforms we got. So I forgot some of them. So what I'm saying is this. that we have a lot of ways you can get the show. You can receive the show in multiple ways. If we're on WDJY during the week, if you kept misses from 8 to noon here on WDJY, in which we said if you do, but if you do miss us, there's a way to hear the show. So you take the show with you in your car. You take it to work with you, be it mobile on demand app. So understand something. You love the Boss Man show. You want to hear segments or hear hours, or you want to relive some moments. You have your opportunity, people. There's your opportunities there to do it. So just do it. Like Nike said, just do it. You hear me? So like I said, a great show today. You're gonna enjoy the show, and you just make sure you enjoy life. Period. Lots going on in our world today that's crazy, and just not normal. Just take a little break here. The Boss Show, we can give some entertainment, sports entertainment wise, because we don't want to bring that stuff to you that's affecting you in a negative. We want to give you positive energy, positive vibes. So that way we can just be happy and grow and be together. Okay, it's one half synergy, it's one just enjoying sports radio, hearing great coaches, hearing great interviews, and just being the best people we can be. And it's being there for each other. So lend a helping hand to somebody this week. Go out your way for somebody this week. Just extend somebody some love they wouldn't give you and usually extend. So just try to be positive, be happy. And folks, it's that time. Got a great show for you. Let's jump into it. After the break, you will hear from Steve Donahue of the Penn Quakers on the Boss Man Show on your radio. Alright, folks, back here in the Gerald the Boss Man Show. I'd like to be joined by the Penn Quakers head coach, Steve Donahue, in the Boss Man Show. Currently 9-1 in Ivy League play. Coach Donahue, how are things up there in Penn, man?
Everything's good. We're in a good roll. We have a great group of kids, and I like everybody else in college basketball, trying to keep getting better and do it down the stretch.
Yes, sir. Like I said, you're 91 here in Ivy League play, currently a 2-game winning streak. Talk to us, Coach. What's been the key factors for you that you feel is really got your team going in the conference play and on the 2 winning streak you're on right now as you get ready for your back-to-backs you have here coming up with Dartmouth and Harvard here?
We've been pretty consistent on the defensive end. We're about 24th in the country in overall defense. We're 6th in the country in limiting three-point shooting percentage. And we don't give up a lot of assists, which is one of our emphasis. So people don't get easy shots, and I think that's been the key. When we make shots after doing those things, we're a pretty good team.
And, Coach, looking also, you're rebounding the ball pretty good if you ask me. You got 60 guys average over 3 or 3 a game, so I'm pretty sure, along with defending the hard, I get up assists. Attacking the glass is also very much a big part of what you're preaching in your game plan discipline and in your game planning for these teams you're playing.
We're a very good defensive rebounding team. I think we're 10th in the nation. Limit teams to 1, and we don't foul. So all the things I'm telling you is just our efficiency on the defensive side of the ball has been really good. We take care of the ball on the offensive end. Our assist to turnover is the best in the league. We're just inconsistent from the foul line and the three-point line. And there's times when we do, and we're are consistent. We make shots, and we're a really hard team to beat.
Yeah, Coach, and I say your guys play very sound. I've watched your guys over the years, and I love how you guys are always sound. That's why I always do about Penn basketball. They're going to be sound under you. And is that something you also try to teach in off-season workouts and as you in practice every day about being sound, staying true to our fundamentals, and doing what we do right, and everything else take care of yourself if you do everything the right way?
I do feel on the offensive end in particular, there's concepts that we really preach, and quicker decisions with the ball, not over dribbling. We do a lot of different metrics that we read how many ball reversals did we get this game? How many times did the ball get in the paint? How many times was our pass to dribble ratio positive? We try to limit dribbles, keep the ball moving, try to get it inside touch, try to score in there. They take that away, just get something in rhythm from three. So we've been solid with that. Just as I said, at times just not consistent to make open shots, and we're trying to keep getting better at that as well.
Yes, indeed. We're at the Penn Quakers head coach Donahue here with me on the Bossman show. Now, Coach, what I like this about your non-conference schedule is I feel like your non-conference schedule and the guys you've played, the quality opponents you've played, has also kind of helped you in your Ivy League play as well. Because when you go out there in non-con and play these tough teams and quality opponents, it can only help you in February and into March when the games get tougher and have more and more meaning down the stretch here.
Yeah, no doubt. We're lucky here in Philly. We're part of the Big Five, so we play Villanova, Temple, LaSalle, and St. Joe's every year. And it's just a remarkable series that we're fortunate enough to have. And throw on top, we obviously played at Dayton this year as well. And I do think playing those type of teams in those environments has helped us. In particular, when we go on the road, we just played 5 straight road games in our conference and won 4 of them. I think it has a lot to do with our preseason prep.
Yes, indeed. And like I said, you in Philly with the group of 5 that you have up there in Philly. I mean, Coach, your guys get to play these guys in summertime as well, so they know the guys pretty well, and they're not afraid of the name on the front of the jersey. They play these guys all the time. It also has to help you guys too when off-season workouts, playing pickup games, and that your guys are not afraid of these names and these big names guys from Villanova or wherever they come from. They can compete with them as well.
It's a pretty good point. We're a close knit up here in Philly. The coaches are, and we have our players in the off season travel to each other's gym and play 5 or 6, 7 pickup games against each other. I mean, it is great. It's incredible for our guys to get that experience, in particular for us to go down to Villanova, Temple, and LaSalle and St. Joe's, get that kind of experience against that kind of athleticism and talent. Just makes us better. But I think you make a good point as well. It just kind of makes it easier to go play them during the season, but also gives us confidence against other really talented teams. And as I said, we're fortunate in Philadelphia to have this kind of college basketball culture that goes on.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, looking at your roster, Coach, I feel like you have a good mix of upperclassmen and lowerclassmen, and this the roster balance you hope to achieve each year in recruiting as well.
It's obviously a little different. The rosters are a little larger. You get the ability with the Penn name and the Wharton School of Business to recruit all over the world. That being said, I think our core group of really good players will be in this 2.5 hours from campus. People that know Philly, know the Palestra, know the Big Five. And I think you see that. Throw on top of that, the New England Preps have so many good basketball players and students that we draw from them as well. And we'll continue to get as good a players we can from anywhere in the world.
Exactly, and for a guy 18 or 19 years old to come to Philadelphia, it has to be a great experience in a historic team and a historic arena. And I watched Palestra on TV a few times. Now, how is it coaching in that building? Because I feel like so much history in that building and so many great games that building has been played. So what's the environment like when you play a game there?
So I've been fortunate enough to coach at a lot of places, Cameron Indoor, Fog Allen, in my years at Boston College and Cornell. In my opinion, this might be biased, there's nothing like the Palestra. It's obviously basketball only. Fans are right on top of you. It fits 9,000. You can't hear yourself think. For a competitor, whether you're the home team or the visitor, it's a great experience. And if you haven't had the opportunity to be at a game at the Palestra, you should go. There's absolutely nothing like it. You're on top of the court. It's loud as heck. It's just a throwback to a big old gym, and it's over 90 years old. It's fantastic.
Now, Coach, or on the Sixers, one of my good friends is on the Sixers, Robert Covington. I went to Tennessee State with him. He always tells me when the Hawks come in town, you got to go check out the Palestra. Or when the Falcons come in town for the Eagles, check out the Palestra. I was up there for the Falcons-Eagles game, but I never get a chance to go by there and see a game. So hopefully next time the schedule comes out, the Hawks or the Falcons, I come there and catch a game, see how it is in that place.
Yeah, the Sixers and Robert's been here. We have a preseason scrimmage, inter-squad scrimmage every year with the Sixers at the Palestra. It's packed. It's a great environment. It's really a cool place. I'm not just saying that. It's really fun to watch college basketball at an arena like this. It's a throwback. There's no AC. There's no executive suites. It's just 9,000 fans right on top of you.
And I think, Coach, you agree with this probably as well. A guy like Robert Covington come from a mid-major school to be in the NBA the way he is now. There has to be confidence for your guys if they play the right way, grow their games, if they could do what Robert done right here in their backyard there in Philadelphia.
Well, that's what we sell. You're going to get a world-class education that's going to benefit you for the rest of your life. But more importantly, I don't want you to stop chasing your dream of playing in the NBA. And at Cornell, I had a center that went to the NBA, and obviously Jeremy Lin from Harvard is in the NBA. And during the 90s when I was assistant, we had 3 NBA players on one team. Ira Bowman, Jerome Allen, and Matt Maloney, who ended up playing for the Rockets. It can be done, especially nowadays. Every game's on TV. They all have access to Synergy, which gives you every game for these scouts to look at. There's no way you're going to be hidden. Our level of our league is so good, and the schedule we play outside the league, it's a great opportunity for kids if they have that dream.
Now, Coach, as you look on this back-to-back this weekend against Dartmouth and Harvard, what are you emphasizing for your team to prepare for these two teams as you get ready for this back-to-back here at Keywood at home at the Palestra?
Well, it's a teams we played just a couple of weeks ago. The difficult part is that you're playing back-to-back. You can't spend too much time on the Saturday night game because you got to get ready for Friday. We split. We lost to Harvard. We beat Dartmouth last time, and you just try to go over with the kids exactly the tendencies, and in the meantime, work on stuff that you feel you got to do every week, no matter what. It is different because you just don't have a lot of time to prep for that second team, but everybody's got to do it. It's not like Harvard's not playing back-to-back. So I actually enjoy it. It takes a tough group of guys to play 2 games in 24 hours every weekend, but it's fun. It's really a great experience, and you compete your tail off, and you try to get 2 wins.
Now, Coach, I know here at the Hawks, Coach Budenholzer likes to limit minutes in that first game of a back-to-back. So I was curious, how do you manage that first game of the back-to-back? Do you go all out, or do you kind of try to manage knowing you have another game tomorrow in mind?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think there's years, honestly, this is my 23rd year in the Ivies. There's years that I had the ability to go deep into my bench on Fridays, and it wouldn't be much a drop-off. I think that's the whole thing. What's your team makeup? Is there much drop-off? We have the ability this year to play a lot of guards on Friday nights to help us. But some of the key guys, it's hard. They're going to play 30, 35 minutes, and they got to get used to it. But I'm telling you, it's something mentally and physically you got to get ready for, the intensity of back-to-back like that.
Now, Coach, let me ask this then. Practice-wise during the week, do you kind of manage practice then to less contact, more shooting drills, just to kind of knowing what's on the back end of these back-to-backs? Do you kind of manage the practice plan differently as well?
Yeah, no doubt. Like, for instance, this week, we were off Sunday. We were off today. I just felt I needed to give these guys 2 days off in a row. Tomorrow we'll do some live half court, very little full court. Wednesday will be just half court, and Thursday will be no physical contact. There'll be more skill work, some breakdown drills, some teaching things about walking through the opponent's stuff on Friday. But at this point in the year, It's very little wide contact, to be honest with you.
Now, Coach, for my listeners here, I got one more for you. For my listeners down here in Atlanta and our affiliates in the South here who may not know about Ivy League basketball the way I do, because I'm a big fan of it, can you share with them the quality of coaching and the quality of teams in the Ivy League that they're missing out by not watching your games on TV here?
Well, I'll give you an idea. Over the last 7 years, I'm starting in 2010, but my Cornell team went to the Sweet 16. We won 5 other NCAA games over the next 7 years. One of the best non-power conference records in the country. Last year we had 3 teams in the top 100. It's a little bit of a rebuilding year this year for the league, but there's a quality opponents, the length, the size, the athleticism. I'll give you one more. Our sophomore class in our league had 7 top 150 players, and the rivals 150. Just the talent level in this league may surprise people that just hear the name Ivy League. It's way different than it was even 10 years ago. Much different, much larger players, skill, and as I said, more highly recruited kids.
Now, coaches, I got one more for you guys about the Ivy League tournament here. Do you like the Ivy League tournament, Coach, or do you like the old way when whoever wins this regular season gets the automatic bid to the tournament there?
Yeah, you know what? I'm an old school guy, and I probably wouldn't have voted for it. However, I think we do it the right way. I think mid-majors that invite all of them it's great for all the teams, but I don't know if it's fair. Our regular season still worth something. The top 4 teams go. Now, last year we were 0-6, and we finished out 6-8 and got ourselves in it. It was a great experience. There's years I ran the table and would have really not appreciated a conference tournament because I think we did enough to win it. But I do think it's the best thing for all the kids that get to experience March Madness. You had 3 additional teams. The league has been great the last 2 years. Everybody's still alive for the playoffs with 2 weeks to go in the conference. The crowds are way better, and the tournament itself was so exciting in the Palestra. It was awesome.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach, I'll definitely make sure that my listeners and my fans cheer you guys on. I'll be hoping the Quakers get that automatic bid. Now, I will hope, Coach, you can make it to the Sweet 16 and make it to Atlanta, to the South Region, down here with us, Coach. That'll be my hope for you guys.
That'd be awesome. I love it, Dan. Let's make that a plan.
Yes, indeed. Love to have you come in the studio with us, Coach, and have one of your guys coach too, because I'd love to have you down here. South Region is going to be a great event. They're already planning for it. I hope you guys can be a part of it, man.
All right, great. Hey, thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed talking hoops.
Alright, folks, we're back here on the Bossman Show. We're joined by the Idaho Vandals head coach, Don Verlin, here on the Bossman Show. Coach Verlin, how are things out there in Idaho, my friend?
Oh, everything's great out here. Obviously, we're winning a few games. It's warm in the gym, but it's cold outside.
I hear that, Coach. I hear that. I hear you on there, man. I hear you. Now, Coach, 11-3 in the Big Sky, and your 6-game winning streak, knocking off the Grizz of Montana. So, Coach, talk to us about that game against Montana, and what's been the key factors for your guys and your streak you've been on in general, winning last 6 games in the Big Sky play, man?
Yeah, well, the Montana game obviously was a great basketball game. We've had a number of good games with them over the years. We actually ended their season last year. It's been a rivalry. We're only about 4 hours apart, so it's been a good rivalry game for a number of years. And what we were able to do in that basketball game is tip one in at the buzzer to win. It was a heck of a game, bunch of lead changes, 2 very well-coached teams, two teams that played very hard, and and it was really anybody's game right until the final buzzer, and that was actually in overtime.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, do you feel like the non-conference slate that you guys played, and how much do you attribute that to your team starting in the conference right now, playing so tough right now in February and thought it was February on into March here, and you feel like those challenges you saw in the non-con is helping you guys right now?
Yeah, no question about it. I've got a veteran ball club. I've got 6 seniors. I've got 7 guys that have been in this program either 4 or 5 years. So we have a veteran club, and they knew what to expect. But we had a tough non-conference schedule. We had marquee wins, one versus our in-state rival. We're not really in-state, but it's only 8 miles away, Washington State University. That game was at home. We played very well in that game. Went out and played Western Michigan, which is a very good team. We were able to play very well in that basketball game. Played Nevada. We had a number of good non-conference games, along with a lot of travel. And I think that really prepared us for conference play. And we started a little slow in conference play. We're 2-2 after our first 4, but then have found a way, to win 9 of our last 11, and obviously very happy with that.
Now, Coach, having a veteran team here, Coach, they kind of complete your thoughts for you. They kind of know what you expect already, and you don't have to worry about them not. They can stick with the game plan you set for them. Keep that game plan discipline there, which you probably love and enjoy, rather than a young guy who may forget what you went over and shoot around, forget what's in the game plan, and freelance off of what you guys want them to do and teach and practice every day.
Yeah, no question. This is the smartest basketball team I've ever had since I've been here at the University of Idaho. This is a team with a lot of maturity, and you're exactly right. They know what the program and the system is all about. They know what's expected of them, and it's one of those things you just got to go out and do it on a nightly basis. And for the most part, this team has been very healthy throughout the year. Knock on wood. We obviously have a tough road trip this week with at Idaho State and then at Weber State, both of them one right ahead of us in the conference standings, one right below us in the conference standings. So a big week if we want to keep pace with Montana, who's actually a game up on us in the Big Sky Conference standings as we stand today.
Now, Coach, this time of year, do you pull back for live drills and practice the wear and tear on the guys' bodies, or knowing you have big road games and we the daughters in February, or do you still kind of go kind of hard, some half court hard shell drills here and there, or you kind of just trying to play it by ear film and do more film work?
It's a little bit of both. You're exactly right. Our college basketball season, we actually we're able to start practice this year on September 29th. And if you think about it, that's a long stretch to be practicing and playing games. And what we've traditionally done, and we've been really good in this program in February and March, is that it's really kind of the same practice plan. It's just condensed. Everything's shorter. Like a drill that we might have done for 10 or 12 minutes in the fall, it might be down to 7 or 8 or 6 minutes now. So it's, kind of less is more. We usually aren't on the practice floor more than about an hour and a half at most. And then what you mentioned about the film room, usually this time of year the film picks up. It's now you're teaching them and talking to them about the details, because the details are what's important as you're playing possession games. A lot of these games, when you get to this time of the season, is they come down to 1 or 2 possessions. And how are you going to steal those possessions and find a way to win a close ball game? And that's really what's been our focus here in February, and it will be the same as in March.
Exactly. And also having a veteran team, Coach, this time of year, February, March, they're not afraid as the games become more important or it gets tighter in the late second half. They won't tense up or make the wrong play because they're nervous. They are confident in their teachings, in their skill, in their drill work. They can make it happen, execute when it all counts in the biggest moments.
Yeah, that's exactly right. What we talk a lot about is trust. Trust in the system, trust in the program, and trust in each other. And that's one thing with the veteran team. We haven't had to do a lot of trust-building things this year. These guys have been through a lot of that stuff and know, like what you're talking about, know what's expected, know how the games are played late in the year, know how they're officiated. And so that's been a great luxury for us this year.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, talk to us specifically about how big the duo of Victor and Brion's been for your team this year, and what do their contributions mean to you and the program in general about how those guys play and bring the passion every night for you guys?
Yeah, both of them very good players. Victor Sanders has been in the program for 4 years, and as a freshman, he averaged 3 points a game, and now he's our second all-time leading scorer in Idaho history. He's had an unbelievable career here. He's a great young man who will receive his degree in the spring. He's worked extremely hard to be a player, not only in the weight room, but his own individual skills and as part of the team. And Vic's a special guy. You don't get a lot of those in coaching. They come around once in a while, and he's obviously a very good player, and he's backed it up night in and night out. Brayon Blake is a junior college transfer from North Idaho Junior College, and he's been my biggest surprise this year. Had a decent junior year with the transfer, but this year has really stepped up and played some great basketball. I challenged Brayon at the start of the year that he needed to lead the league in rebounding, and he's doing it. And, that's just a tribute to him and how he comes to work every single day. The one thing I tell you about Brayon is it means a lot to him. He loves basketball, but winning means a lot to him, and he goes out and tries to do whatever he can to help our basketball team win, whether it's scoring points, whether it's getting rebounds, whether it's defending the toughest guy, whatever it takes, and been very happy with his contributions. But we've had a lot of other guys step up and play very well as well. But those two guys have obviously played really good to this point in the season.
Talking with the Idaho Vandals, Donahue Verlin here on the Bossman Show about his team up there in Idaho in the Big Sky Conference. And the coach, looking at your stats, I love what I see, man. You got balance scoring across the board with 7 guys virtually averaging 5 points a game. Balance rebounding as well, 6 guys over 3 boards a game. So it's sharing the basketball, attacking the glass, defending like crazy out of 3 elements you're practicing. You're preaching to your team every day in practice and in film session.
Yeah, no question. That's the key thing. Is being able to play with your teammates and share the ball. And we lead the conference in assists. That's just a tribute to the guys in the program and doing what they've been coached to do and accepting that coaching. I think that's always a big part. Is there's a lot of good coaches out here, but getting your guys to accept it is something important, really important. And then the other area that you mentioned is rebounding. That was an emphasis, way back in the summer when we started, as we felt like we had to lead this league in rebounding and rebound margin, and we're doing it. And got a number of guys who do a really good job rebounding the ball. I've also got a number of guards. Usually good rebounding team have good guard rebounders, and we've got a couple very good guard rebounders, and that's what's helped us rebound the ball so well this year.
Now, Coach, recruiting wise, now the Big Sky to me is a transfer league, a grad transfer league, a JUCO league, a high school freshman league. So you got a lot of different ways to go to build your roster here in that league. So how do you go about selling your program to guys to come to Idaho and the location of Idaho? What guys are you trying to target to bring into your program?
Yeah, that's a great question. You're right about our league. It's all the way across the board, whether it's junior college transfers or high school guys. But our philosophy has been is work like crazy in the Northwest. It's close to us, and if you look at our roster, we've got a lot of Oregon and/or Washington guys on our roster. We've also occasionally recruited a junior college guy and/or a transfer guy. And then also, we're looking at some good high school guys from wherever across the country. As a matter of fact, we signed a guy from Atlanta this year, Kadeem Sam, and he will come and play for the Idaho Vandals. And yes, what we sell is number one, like everybody, we sell a good education. University of Idaho is a great place to go to school. Every fraternity and sorority is represented on this campus, and it's campus life 101. It's a fun place to go to school. There's a lot of kids your own age. And also 8 miles down the road is Washington State University, which has about 30,000 students. And so in this 8-mile, 10-mile radius, if you will, there's a lot of campus life and a lot of college life. And then, the next thing is we really sell our basketball program and our player development. Part of that program is since I've been at the University of Idaho, we've got 3 of the top 5 all-time leading scorers in Idaho history, and those guys have come and been here as freshmen and or redshirted and worked their way up. And, those guys have had the opportunity and are currently playing, overseas. And so it's just an opportunity, one, to get a good education, but number two is come to a place where you can develop yourself. And one thing that we sell a lot is to play professional basketball, you got to build a college resume. And what's a better place to do that than the University of Idaho?
You got that right, Coach. And you know what? I feel like the Big Sky's is a good home for those West Coast guys who thought they was high major guys, and then they wasn't quite get the point out they wanted. They can come down to the Big Sky and be world beaters because of the league, the way it's set up. You can go to the Big Sky and get to make a name for yourself and get to build a resume to play professionally, either be Europe, the G League, or wherever you want to play at.
Right. Yep. I agree. And obviously in the last 4 or 5 years, Damian Lillard came out of this league. There's been some really good players come out of this league. And what I tell you about this year is this is the best the league has been in the 5 years since we've been back in the league. Actually, 4 years since we've been back in the league. It's a really balanced conference. There's a number of good guards, and I give you examples of how good the Big Sky's been this year. A year ago in non-conference play, we won 29 ball games. All of our conference teams won 29 ball games in non-conference play. This year, our conference won 72. And so there was a number of teams that went on the road and upset big schools. Montana went to Pitt and won. Irvine went to Stanford and won. Portland State beat Stanford and Cal. You can go down this. We beat Washington State. You can go down the list, and there was a number of marquee wins from our conference, and that just tells you how good our conference is this year.
Exactly, and Coach, you all are good interviews. I've had on Travis, I've had on Grandy, I've had on Shante, I've had on Barrett, I've had on Todd. So you all, and now I had on you. You all are good interviews too. People sleep on the Big Sky Conference. Your coaches are very knowledgeable, quality coaching, quality talent, quality all together. Now, if I can do my part to give you all a platform, I'm gonna do it because I like the ball you guys play out there.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm sorry you had to talk to Randy. He's a longtime friend, and we play him this week. We were on the same staff together for 10 years. So, like you said, number of good basketball coaches in a very well coached conference, and it's a lot of fun playing in this conference.
Yes, indeed, with Coach Verlin. I think it's been great to have you on the show. I'm glad they worked out to get you on with us because I had a lot of different guys in your league on. So I got to have you on too, Coach. So I'm glad you ready to get you in here as well for this March Madness thing kicks off here real soon, man.
Yep, I appreciate that. And, hey, I've been an Atlanta Braves fan for a long time, so go Braves.
Yes, indeed. Tomahawk chop, baby.
That's right.
Hey, Coach, let me ask you this. Did you become a Braves fan because of TBS like I did, or did you a fan before TBS?
TBS. When I was growing up, they were the only guys, you got them all the time. And that's how you become a Braves fan. I mean, I'm a West Coast guy and obviously like the Giants and the A's, but, being able to see the Atlanta Braves, you just automatically become fans. And then, for a number of years, they were so good, and God, it was fun watching them play through the years.
Now, Coach, I'm going to tell you the quick story. I know it was so surreal for me. I'm 30 years old, Coach, so I used to watch the Braves on TBS. The Fresh Prince would come on at 6:05, 6:35 Braves baseball. Now, I got in the media business at 23. So when I got to meet Skip Carey, Don Sutton, Pete Van Wieren, and Joseph for the first time, I about lost my mind because these are the guys I watched every night on TBS cheating on the Braves in Orlando, Florida. So it was so real.
Wow. That's amazing. That's a great story.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach, when you come to town this offseason to recruit some guys, we go to a Braves game when they're in town, hopefully. I'm going to send you my number off there so you can have my numbers. We can definitely keep in contact when we get to town, go watch the game together or something, man.
I would love to do that.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach Verlin, thank you again. We'll talk to you real soon, man.
All right, partner. See you now.
folks, we're back here on the J.R. the Boss Man show. We're about to go out west where I just came from. We got back from the All-Star game to Cal State Fullerton Titans. Their coach, Dedrique Taylor on the Boss Man show. Coach Taylor, good to have you on the show, man. How I love treating you out there in Cali, man. I love your area, man. I want to go back already.
Come on back. You're welcome anytime, man. Just bring some of that good Southern cooking with you, and we'll be just fine.
Oh, man, I can do that for you for sure, Coach. Any kind of barbecue or chicken or hot chicken you want, we got it for you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, Coach, I want to say congrats on your 8-4 in the Big West right now. I got a great race going on between you guys, UC Irvine, Davis, you got UCSB doing their thing as well. But right now, 8-4, 3-game winning streak. So, Coach, what's been the key factors for your team playing well in conference play and also the streak you're on right now, man?
I think a lot of it has to do with just our guys are in a rhythm. They understand what to do. They understand how to do it, and now it's just a matter of those guys doing it. When they believe in it, when they're focused on our concepts, both offensively and defensively, it gives our group a great chance to take advantage of their talent. We've been really, really fortunate from a recruiting standpoint to land some talented guys that have been able to develop in our program over the course of the years. We're still relatively young. We have one senior this year, but we've had back-to-back freshman of the year in our conference, and those two guys in particular are playing really well. We have another young man that's a junior that's as talented as anybody, and those three guys are playing really well on both ends of the floor. And I think the difference for this group right now is A, knock on wood, we're healthy, we're injury-free, and then B, these guys understand how to play, and they're enjoying playing together the way that we play the game.
Now, Coach, this time of year, February into March here, Coach, practice plans and working the guys out. You pull back some to keep you guys healthy this time of year, more film study, less drill work, less half court live or going full court live, trying to keep them fresh for games right now?
Yeah, we do. We spend a little more time in the film room. We still limit it to 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 at this time of year. Where our practices are typically, we're on the floor in early November and October. We're on the floor 2.5, 2:45. Whereas now we're on the floor like today. We got film done in 30 minutes, and then we got on the floor and we were off the floor in an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes. And so this group's unique from a standpoint of they like to play. They like to play. They learn better through playing. So the way we set up our practices are, we'll have a couple of breakdown drills just to introduce the concepts or rehearse the concepts, and then they like to put the concepts together live, and they want to go up and down. So that's what we do, and we give them that opportunity to take advantage of what they have expressed is the best way for them to learn. They take a different type of ownership when we get up and down the floor. And so we don't do it alone, but we get up and down and we compete against each other and their consequences. And this group's unique that way in terms of they like to play.
Exactly. You want some players, Coach, because if they don't like to play, then it makes your job difficult. But yeah, our team is excited to practice every day, excited to get in the gym, do drill work, whether it be shell drills, or you miss a free throw, you don't do a 22 or 11. You love that, man.
No doubt. And this group is kind of taking that work ethic to a different level. I mean, we use our hour and a half or whatever time we're together, but regularly you can come in the gym at 7 in the morning or 11, 12 o'clock at night, and you'll see one or two of our guys in there working individually on their game. And that's one thing that this group has taken it to another level, in my opinion, since we've been here as a staff, is the work ethic and the development and the mindset of every day getting better. This group, particularly a couple of guys, have really, really bought into that concept, and they've taken it to another level as far as just, I'll give you another example, is we beat Irvine at Irvine early in the conference play, and Irvine's probably about a 25-minute bus ride for us. So we bus back to campus. We get off the bus. The guys go put their stuff down. I go to my office. I'm doing my next thing. I'm leaving the gym probably about 45 minutes later, and one of our best players, this is after a win, one of our best players is in the gym with his dad working on his game. And that happens regularly from him. And there's a couple other guys that are in the gym working. And so the mindset of getting better, the mindset of putting in the work so that when the lights are on, their talent can be on full display. And that's something that this group has really taken a liking to. And we've been very fortunate with that.
We have DJ Taylor here at Cal State Fullerton Titans here on the Bossman Show. Not only a baseball school, but a basketball school too, people. Don't get that confused about Cal State Fullerton. More than this baseball, people. Ain't that right, Coach?
Definitely. Definitely. We're building it. We're building it. Everybody recognizes the F. And when we're on your side of Texas, on the east side of Texas, everybody thinks we're Florida. That's one thing that we got to deal with our logo. But most people do recognize us for baseball. But as you can tell, just with this conversation that you and I are having, our basketball brand is building, and it's starting to pick up some momentum across the country, and it's a beautiful thing for our young men and for our school, obviously, but most importantly for the guys in our program. It's all about the experience that they get an opportunity to have.
And Coach, a lot of college basketball players call and text me about how to get more playing time. I think what you just described as a coach, seeing your guys after a win in the gym working on their game, you have to make a coach play. You have to do things to show a coach they can trust you. You have to be in space with your play and your action, your activities to say, hey, play me. Don't let me slow it.
Yeah.
Play me. So doing those
Definitely.
things shows that you're invested in the team and the game, and a coach will give you some run, see if they can trust you, and go from there.
No question. No question. There's a friend of mine by the name of Kevin Eastman, and I heard him speak a couple of summers ago, maybe 3 summers ago, and he was talking about his time with the Clippers under Doc Rivers, and he made the statement to your point of this. He said, players give us more information and make the decisions easier for us based on what they do while they're working. And so, to your point, if those guys aren't getting extra shots, if they're not understanding the concept and coming in and watching extra film so that they do get the concepts and being able to execute those concepts day in and day out, it actually makes it pretty easy to make to play the guys that are doing those things and the guys that aren't. It makes it relatively easy to keep them over there on the bench.
You got there, right, Coach, to show you want it, and you earn the playing time by showing that you want it. Now, I tell guys that all the time, Coach, and a lot of times people, well, boss, man, I said, look, I played sports. I played football and basketball. I know what it takes to get the job done at the collegiate level.
Definitely. I'll tell you something else interesting. Just in that conversation, a lot of people ask questions, and they're not listening to the response. They're not hearing what you just said. I mean, seriously, if you rewind what you just said, literally the 3 or 4 or 5 bullet points that you just said, if guys brought that every single day, they would be able to answer their own question. How do I get more playing time? Exactly what you just said. Studying extra film, showing the coach that you're ready by doing the little things that matter every single day. Again, you put so much pressure on a coach to where he's looking around like, how do I not play that guy who does that every single day?
And, Coach, I've also told these guys, too, you always been evaluated from where you're in the classroom, whether you're in the dining hall, study hall, pre-practice, post-practice, during practice. You've always been evaluated. So always, when you have an opportunity, put your best foot forward, because it all goes a long way to you when you're getting in the game. When the clock is getting, the fans in the arena, you may get that call off the bench to do something, because you have to earn it and show it in everything you do from day one.
Definitely. No question, and again, it goes back to your point in terms of your question rather of how is our program able to make the run that we've made. I think there's a direct correlation between a guy's study habits and his work habits in the classroom and whether or not he's taking care of business. Can we count on him if he says, I'm going to study hall and I'm going to be there from 9 to 11? Can we count on him to do that? Because if we can, you're building coins that replay themselves on the floor just the same. Because if a guy gets beat, you got to be in your position, and we got to trust, your teammates got to trust that you're there because that's what you do. And so there's a direct correlation. The guy skipping, missing class, he's probably doing the same thing on the floor. And so our guys, once again, to answer your question in terms of how we've gotten where we are, character is a huge pillar in our program. And because we have some high character guys, and again, I'm not saying they're perfect because they all make mistakes daily, but they understand right from wrong, and more times than not, they're choosing right. And when they choose right, it just helps us get where we're trying to go a little quicker.
You got that right, Coach. Now, Coach, I feel like your team's non-conference slate has really helped them to get to the start they are in conference play, being 8-4. I didn't think of the big West race here, and you feel like playing at tough non-conference schedules, quality opponents, has helped you guys gel even more. They love being together, they love playing, but going through adversity, playing some tough teams in non-conference, it's helping them right now as they play their rivals all around California and beyond in the Big West Conference there.
Sure. Yeah, no, and we try to do that with our scheduling. There's two things we try to do with our scheduling is, number one, we look at it as an opportunity to help our guys get better. Who can we go play that we respect, that we can learn from? St. Mary's was one of those schools. USC was one of those schools this year. We were fortunate to be able to play in the the Wooden Legacy Classic, where we played against Georgia, a guy that I worked for, Mark Fox, and had an opportunity to play against Harvard, one of the better coaches that I think does an excellent job. And so we were able to not only play them, but we learned a tremendous amount from them, from what they were doing, but also we learned about ourselves and how good we can be. And I thought our group really, really accepted learning from the preseason and being able to play some of those games on the road and then obviously at our place. And I think they've helped us on the road. I think this is the first year that we've won as many games on the road as we've won, and I think a lot of it has to do with our preseason. The second thing is from a recruiting standpoint, we have kids from all over the country. We have 3 kids from Texas, a kid from Brooklyn, a kid from Toronto. So we're going to try to go back and play in their home states to be able to see, have their family see them close to them. And so that's another thing that we try to accomplish while we're scheduling opponents, trying to use it as a recruiting piece, and hopefully we can get down there and get some of those good athletic young men that you guys got down there in Georgia.
Well, Coach, you got some options here. Georgia State, even though I want to play against that zone Ron Hunter plays. Georgia Tech, Kennesaw, Mark Fox up in Athens, Mercer. We got options, Coach. You come down here and play a whole series down here at Georgia schools, man.
Hey, listen, I just want to come down there and give me some sweet tea, man, go to the Waffle House. That's all I want to do anyway.
Hey, touche. Hey, the Waffle House is always popping, man. Always popping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, let me ask you this, man. So, recruiting-wise, it has to be easy for you to recruit because you're in a great area. Southern California, all them schools right in the area. You got a good talent. You can get Pac-12 transfers, you can get grad transfers, high school freshmen, JUCOs, and high school seniors, JUCOs. So I feel like you have a great area to recruit any way you want to recruit and build your program, keep it turning over in the right direction every year and being old at the right time all the time.
Yeah, no, we do. We've been able to really, really define our blueprint, and our blueprint is again, it's high character guys that have a high skill set or a potential to have a high skill set, and guys that are willing to work. And so if we can identify those things early in the process, it really helps us get engaged and build a relationship, which is to me the most important thing of recruiting. It's just a relationship, being able to spend time face to face and one-on-one, and then we do have, a lot to sell in our area. And ironically, in most places, like we have a kid right now from the Czech Republic, we have a kid from Grenada, we have a kid, as I mentioned, from Toronto. Last year we had a kid from Australia. But most places we go and we mention our area, whether it be Los Angeles or Fullerton by name, kids instinctively, automatically, they know it. They're aware of the location. They're aware of it because of the beaches or because of the Lakers or, they're able to resonate with the area because they've been attracted to it by some shape, form, or fashion in terms of, name, Hollywood, something like that. And so as soon as we hear that from a kid that we want, we automatically know we got a chance. We got a chance because they want to come spend some time in Los Angeles. I'll tell you a quick story recruiting-wise. The kid from the Czech Republic, we got a chance to see him over here at a junior college up in Laramie, Wyoming. And he obviously knew where we were and what was going on, and so we sit and we talk, and I said, hey, where we're located? He's like, Coach, I just want to tell you this. I've been a Laker fan my whole life. I've always wanted to go to school in Los Angeles. And right then and there, I was like, okay, I think we got a really good chance. And so there's a lot of things that we have to sell outside of location. Obviously, our school is top 3 business schools in the country. Our kinesiology program is one of the best in the country, and there's a lot of business-oriented opportunities in our area that, because you're associated with Cal State Fullerton, you get a chance to go out in the real world and get some real-life experience while you're in school as well. And if you happen to be an athlete, that makes the experience, in my opinion, that much better for you as you look to build your own resume, both athletically and personally.
Now, Coach, if I have a question I have for you, I say I want to have you on too as well, 'cause Black History Month. I'm African American talk show host with a platform in Atlanta.
Sure.
A key city in the South where the civil rights movement was made, and a lot of blacks have made progress. So, African American coach in this business, what does it mean to you, Coach? And what does it mean to mentor these young men and mold them into good husbands, businessmen, whatever they want to go, career basketball players? What does it mean to you to mold these young men, leaving an impact on these men for their whole lives, and knowing that, hey, you're like a father figure with these guys, a big brother to them to a sense as well. Once they graduate, that you're always going to be there for them.
Yeah, to me, honestly, it's the most important part of the puzzle. Like, basketball is just a caveat to to get these young men's attention. Basketball is secondary, in my opinion. Once we have the relationship and once we have the opportunity where we trust each other, most importantly, these young men trust us. Now the real work, the exciting work starts to begin, because you get a chance to literally pour into these guys. And the three things that we talk about, and me personally, I talk about service, impact, leadership. That is something that we spend an inordinate amount of time with our guys, and quite frankly, anyone that we come in contact that's willing to engage in any kind of conversation. And again, basketball is just the catalyst that we use to attract these young guys' attention. But what wakes me up at night, what wakes me up in the morning, is this opportunity to make the best out of this day, to hopefully be able to pour into these young men so that they see what their impact can be through service and the opportunity to be leaders in their community. And those three things will always stand out to me as we try to give back to these young men, because, again, I'm not getting any younger. And if I don't do my part in terms of teaching the next generation how to be stand-up men of their word. My father told me, you got two things in this world, your name and your word. And when you screw those two things up, man, you got a long road to go. And so we try to spend time with these guys and impart some of those same messages to these young men in hopes that they can be better than my generation. And when I get old and can't do for myself, hopefully these young cats will be able to take care of me and go ahead and put me in the grave versus just put me in the grave like I'm sure they want to do anyway.
You got that right, Coach. Well, Coach, I thank you for your time, like Coach Taylor. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Look forward to having you on again real soon. And when you're in Atlanta and come down here and recruit, man, give me a holler. We'll have you in studio as well, man.
I will. Most definitely. Count on that. I'll be down there probably sometime in April for sure. So I'll let you know when I'm coming. And we can go get some food, and then we can get on the airways and chop it up.
Yeah, Coach. I'm going to take you to Waffle House, man. Get you what you want at Waffle House. Take care of you, man.
I appreciate it, man. If you come back west, please let me know. Reach out. And,
hey,
let's
Coach,
connect.
I think, the Hawks had a West Coast trip already. I already went the Clippers and the
Yeah.
Lakers back to back. So, won't be back this year,
Yeah.
but maybe the Falcons will play the Rams, I think. I don't know for sure. But I'm always out there with the Hawks and Falcons. I'll come out there all the time, man.
Please let me know. Would love to catch up with you.
Coach, I sure will, man. Thank you for time tonight again, Coach. You be safe, man. Hope y'all get that win this week,
All right.
man.
Appreciate it, man. You take care. Thank you again.
All right, folks.